Hello, everybody. We have a very special guest with us today, Miss Rachel LaBatt. Here she is. We have a lot of questions for you today, and we definitely want to know, before we get started, what is your Instagram? What is your social? How can we find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Rachel_LaBatt. That is LAB as in boy, ATT.
Awesome. Please follow her. So, Rachel, you're known for so many things, but the one thing that I think everybody knows you for right now is this crown. Can you tell us a little bit about what this is all about, and what do you do?
I am Miss Maryland, United States, 2021, and I am also a flight test engineer. I work on military jets, side-by-side naval aviators, and I love having both sides of the world. I like flying in jets in combat boots and then coming into the studio and putting on a nice pair of high heels.
Oh my goodness. So she is brains and beauty. Did you guys expect this? I did not. So tell me, before we get into the whole flight test engineer, and I'm sure you're flying too, let's talk about this. So what got you into the pageantry? Is it something that you've always wanted to do, or is it something that just came to you out of the blue?
It's actually something that came to me because of my job. I was affected by the pandemic, just like everyone else. I was sentenced to telework, and I am a social butterfly, so that didn't work for me. I couldn't just sit around and wait for other people to come help us. I needed to get back out in my community and help out. So March of 2020, we started a nonprofit called Southern Maryland Loves You. And through that nonprofit, we built a heat sanitization unit and also PPE gowns. We went to the dollar store, picked up a plastic tablecloth, and started cutting it, shaping it up into a PPE gown that nurses could wear because there was a shortage. And when we put the gown together, we started thinking, oh, there's different tablecloths. Let's put out different patterns, different designs. Let's do a runway. Let's get Miss Maryland to do a runway. Who is Miss Maryland? How do we get in touch with her? And I started doing research. And to be honest, I was like, I kind of want to be in the runway. I could see myself on a runway. Why don't I try and be Miss Maryland? Of course, this was Miss Maryland USA that got me interested in it all in the first place. And that's when I applied. And last year, it was February 14th, 2021, when I got an email saying that I was accepted into the Miss Maryland USA state pageant.
Ooh, okay, so right on Valentine's Day. That's the best Valentine. Right?
It was.
Okay, so what happened then?
Then I had a phone interview and was accepted as a contestant. So I was the state finalist for Miss Maryland USA. I went on to compete in June of last year, and that's what started this whole obsession with bettering my community. I realized that I could use everything that I learned from COVID with the breast pump ventilator, the heat sanitization unit, all of the connections I made in my area, and how strong my community was in empathy and self-care and all of the brains that Southern Maryland has. I said, I want to do more. I did not win Miss Maryland USA 2021, but I went on and I found another pageant and realized that my platform could still be of use in other pageant systems, not just one. And I could still help out my community regardless of my title. I could still be there, and my community actually reached back out to me. That's when I found the Sleep in Heavenly Peace Foundation. They build beds for people who can't afford them, who don't even have beds. Oftentimes, they'll put a bed in the house, and that's the only piece of furniture. For me, that is so impactful that that's right there in my community. We have made over 400 beds in the past 2 years. for our community. And that has led me to more projects. I love putting my engineering to use and being able to help my community directly through Southern Maryland Loves You, through Sleep in Heavenly Peace, and even Christmas in April.
Christmas in April. Okay, tell us about it.
Christmas in April, I helped out for the first time last year, and it was life-changing. I didn't know that my own community needed so much help. And when I showed up at this beautiful woman's house, she lived in a trailer and she needed flooring done. Like the subfloor of her house was falling. And a group of 80 of us actually put the floor back together. We redid her bathroom. We installed carpet. We fixed the paneling on her outside porch. Like everything that she needed to get done, Christmas in April did at no cost to her.
So is it something that the audience can help out with? If they're local, how do we get involved?
Yes, if you guys are curious and you want more information, please follow me on Instagram and I will keep you guys updated with any opportunities there are to volunteer in my local community. And I would love for you to join.
Definitely. Oh my goodness. So you're just full of surprises. Can you tell us with, the recent events, there've been some tragedy in the community, especially in the pageantry. How does that make you feel, and what is your mission regarding that?
Regarding Chesley, we all love her. We all know who she is from an outside perspective. She was Miss USA, but that's all from what we see, what she posts. And January 30th was really hard. I cried. It struck me because I personally related to her. And I think it's a good reminder for everyone to check in on each other. Have more empathy. We need to be there for one another, and we need to think of how our words and actions affect others and not just ourselves. I personally have been struck with grief in the past few months even, and it's really important to me to have open discussions, to talk about it. That's how I grieve. That's how it gets me through the process, is being able to talk about suicide awareness, about mental health. And I think Simone Biles was a really good example as well in the Olympics. It is mental. She is physically fit, but it was also a mental game. I love that she could stand up for herself and make it known. And that is truly what pageantry has taught me as well. All of the girls were like sisters. We call it a sisterhood for a reason. As soon as the news broke, you had all of the sisters texting each other, checking in on each other, making sure that no one else has to fall victim. And that's what we're all about. We want to be there for one another. We want to be there for loved ones. And we also want to be there for the next generation. So my focus is to have these open communication lines with kids that are 6, teaching them how to express their emotions, how to have empathy for one another, and how to be there for each other.
I love that. Well, back to the positive news. So you mentioned that COVID was something that actually motivated you, right? You started helping out and creating the gowns, and then you were thinking about fashion. So let's talk about fashion a little bit, because we've seen you in different shows. Can you tell us a little bit about what you've been involved with and where we can find you in the next couple of months as well?
I love that. Yes, New York Fashion Week was my highlight of last year. I walked in New York Fashion Week for the first time ever in September, and I walked for VIP pageantry, and I got invited back in February. So I actually just walked in New York Fashion Week again in February, and I had an amazing team come with me. Dash Talents videotaped, photographed, and were absolutely incredible through the whole process. And upcoming, we have Richmond Fashion Week, which you'll be able to see me there as well.
We can't wait to see you. That's going to be amazing. What else for you? What do you envision yourself in the next 5 years? Because you're still young, you still have a lot ahead of you. What's next? What's going on?
What's next? Well, I'm probably going to go home and eat some chicken. But
chicken is so popular.
I have a hard time answering this question solely because 1 year ago, I couldn't tell you that I would be sitting right here with a crown. I couldn't tell you that I was Miss Maryland, United States. Like, that's not where I saw myself a year ago. And a year before that, I was competing in a push-pull competition. So I like surprising myself every once in a while. So maybe a year from now, I'll be an astronaut. But
it's possible.
That or the cover of Vogue. So we'll see.
I think that's very possible as well. In fact, I think we just did a photo shoot here with our amazing photographer, Noelle. That's very Vogue material.
I think.
Stay tuned for that.
Dash Talents magazine.
It's already there.
I do love my career. I love my flight test aspect of my life because it brings me back to the world and what's happening in the world right now. Everything that I do makes me feel like I'm a part of something bigger than myself. It makes me feel like I am helping our fleet. It makes me take pride in the work that I do. It makes me inspire that next generation of women engineers to grow up in aviation, to live it, breathe it. Everything that I did growing up, I didn't even think about modeling. I didn't think I could. I mean, I have bruises all over my legs.
Yeah, tell us why we have all those bruises. What is going on?
I am a professional women's futsal player. We competed in regionals in Atlantic City last weekend. Oh, 2 weekends ago.
Oh.
Right? Sometime back then.
2 weekends ago it was. And what happened?
Absolutely incredible. It was my first ever tournament for futsal, and I love my team. We grew even closer. Same thing with pageantry. You become sisters. You play for each other. That's my favorite part. And you can kind of tell the teams that are there that are, they're just a bunch of girls that play soccer. But then you can tell our team, they trust each other. They care about each other. And they're playing for each other.
That's amazing. That seems to just revolve around you. Because your friendships, your relationships, they all seem to be that way.
People are who I care most about. I love people, and that's why I love showing empathy and encouraging others to do the same.
Definitely. So you're a Miss Maryland, United States, 2021. Can we look forward towards anything in 2022? What is your goal?
In May 13th through 15th, I am going to compete for Miss Maryland USA 2022 in hopes of walking on stage at Miss USA.
Absolutely. And how can we help you? How can we support?
I am always looking for sponsors, whether it be in gowns or photo shoots. If anyone wants to help monetarily as well, I will have more information on my Instagram, and it'll be linked to my website. I would love to talk to everyone. I'd love to do events and see everyone's smiling face. So let me know if you guys need anything. Need a guest speaker. I'll be speaking at a Women in STEMming event in May. I have a Kids Day in May. Lots of events coming up that are super exciting and very community involved.
And if anybody wants to have you do an appearance, do they reach out to you directly, or is there somebody that they need to go through?
If they want, they can talk to Inside Look TV magazine with Hidalia Vera, and she is also on my Instagram. You'll be able to find her contacts and set up something for Miss Maryland, United States. Until then, we are just enjoying my reign until May.
We love it. Well, thank you so much for joining us. You are an incredible person. You are a great example of what a woman should be. You work hard, you have a great time doing it, and you're beautiful in so many ways, not just physically, but inside as well. So we
Thank
can't wait
you.
to keep watching you grow and your journey, and we're here to support you for Miss USA.
Miss USA 2022, here we come.